Before we jump into the demo, I want to set the stage because this part trips a lot of people up, especially when they're just getting started. If you ever wonder how people actually get practice working with ServiceNow before they work for a company yet, this is the answer. Today we're going to talk about something called a Personal Developer Instance, or PDI. A PDI is a free personal copy of ServiceNow that runs in the cloud. ServiceNow provides these specifically so people can learn, and explore, and experiment with the platform in a safe environment. And I want to be really clear about something up front. What we're about to do is completely okay. ServiceNow intentionally provides PDIs for anyone who's genuinely interested in learning how the platform works. You're also not installing anything on your computer. You're not committing to anything. Everything runs in your browser, and if you ever want a fresh start, you can simply request a new instance. So this is a safe place to learn. And the reason that PDIs are so valuable is simple. Reading about ServiceNow is great, but using ServiceNow is what makes things click. Once you have your own personal developer instance, things like records and tables and lists and forms go from being abstract ideas to becoming real things that you can test and explore. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire setup process, start to finish. It really comes down to 3 simple steps. First, create a basic ServiceNow website account. Second, we'll visit the ServiceNow developer site and complete a short onboarding step. And third, we'll request your personal developer instance. I'll explain each step as we go along and point out things that tend to confuse people, especially if you're new. So let's start with step 1. We'll start right at ServiceNow.com. The first thing you'll see me do is create a ServiceNow website account. Just to be clear, this step isn't specific to getting a personal developer instance. People create ServiceNow website accounts all the time. Think of this as your global ServiceNow website login. From the home page, click Sign In, and then choose Create an Account. You'll see a registration form with a set of required fields. Don't overthink this. It's simply ServiceNow collecting some basic profile information. I'm entering a test email address here, but you'll want to use your real email address because ServiceNow will send you a verification code to complete the sign-up. The rest of the form includes things like your name, company, phone number, job level, department, job function, and location. Some of these fields you'll type in, and some are drop-downs. Just pick the ones that are the closest to your situation. There's no wrong answer here. You'll also create a password that meets the security requirements, agree to the website terms, and click Continue. At this point, ServiceNow sends a verification email with a 6-digit code. Grab that code from your email, paste it into the verification screen, and submit. Once that's done, you're returned to the ServiceNow homepage, this time in a logged-in state. You'll see a profile icon in the corner confirming that you're signed in. And that's it for step 1. You now have a ServiceNow website account, which is simply the foundation for everything else we're about to do. Next, we'll head to the ServiceNow developer site. Now that you're logged into the ServiceNow website, the next step is to head over to the ServiceNow developer site and officially join the ServiceNow Developer Program. From the home page, open the Learning menu, choose Developer Resources, and then click Explore Resources. This brings you into what ServiceNow calls the developer site, and sometimes you'll hear it referred to as the developer portal. It's a dedicated place for hands-on learning and experimentation, especially around building and exploring things inside ServiceNow. And the first time you enter, you'll see a short Getting Started wizard. ServiceNow describes this as tuning your experience, and it starts by asking a simple question. Do you code? And you'll see 2 options. Yes, I need a developer-oriented IDE, or no, I need a guided experience. This question is not about whether you're allowed to be here, and it does not affect your ability to get a personal developer instance. What it really is ServiceNow is trying to tailor the developer site experience to you. So things like learning paths and tutorials and which tools they emphasize. If you're new to ServiceNow or learning from a fundamentals perspective, choosing no, I need a guided experience is completely fine. If you're coming in with a strong development background and want more direct access to technical tools, then yes, I need a developer-oriented IDE may make more sense. Either way, you'll answer a quick follow-up about your role, accept the developer site terms of use, and click Finish Setup. When you do that, you're taken back to the developer site homepage. And at this point, you'll notice something important. The Request Instance button is now available in the top right corner. That's your signal that you're officially enrolled in the ServiceNow Developer Program. Nothing's been installed. Nothing has changed on your computer. You've simply unlocked access to ServiceNow's developer site. Now, you're ready for the final step. Now that you're a member of the ServiceNow Developer Program, you're ready for the part that most people are here for, and that's requesting your Personal Developer Instance, or PDI. From the developer site homepage, click the Request Instance button. One quick note, sometimes this button doesn't respond the first time. If that happens, just refresh the page and try again. Next, you'll be asked to select a release for your PDI. You usually see a few options here. For example, currently Zurich, Yokohama, Xanadu. In most cases, choosing the most recent release is the right move, especially when you're learning. Click Request, and ServiceNow begins provisioning your instance. You'll see a fulfilling request screen with a message that says Setting Up Instance. This usually takes a minute or two. Once the setup is complete, you're taken to the Manage My Instance page. This page is kind of important. Here, you'll see details about your instance, including its name, status, and release version. You'll also see your instance URL, your username, your current password. You can toggle the password visibility here if you need it. There's also a small gear icon next to this section. It includes an option to email yourself your login credentials. The page also includes an action menu that lets you manage or reset the instance if needed. For now, just know that this page is your control center. The most important button here is the Start Building button. This opens your Personal Developer Instance directly in a new browser tab. It's the button that I use almost every time. If the button doesn't respond immediately, a quick page refresh usually fixes it. When your instance opens, you'll land on the default home page. This is the moment where you leave the ServiceNow website and you enter the ServiceNow application itself. You're now looking at a real ServiceNow instance, the same platform that companies use, just your own personal version. You may see a short welcome walkthrough with a few optional screens. Feel free to click through those or dismiss it. Your homepage layout may look a little different from what you see in other videos or screenshots online, and that's completely normal. The key thing to check is the All menu on the top left. When that opens and you see the list of applications, you're officially inside your Personal Developer Instance. And that's it. You now have your own ServiceNow instance built specifically for learning, exploring, and experimenting, and building your knowledge on the platform. Now, one last tip before we wrap up. When you come back tomorrow or anytime you want to use your PDI, there are a couple of ways to get back in. One option is to go directly to your instance URL and log in using the username and password that are associated with your PDI. That does work. But the approach I recommend is this. Simply return to ServiceNow.com and log into the website. Then navigate back to the developer site and click Start Building. That workflow always takes you to the right place and helps avoid password issues. Also, if you don't use your PDI for a while, ServiceNow will put it into hibernation mode. That's normal. Nothing is lost. It just means that the instance may take a minute or two to wake up the next time you use it. If it stays unused for about 10 days, though, ServiceNow may eventually recycle it and give that instance to someone else. So to avoid that, simply log into the developer site or your PDI once in a while, just to let the platform know that you're still using it. In the next video, we'll actually start using your instance and exploring things like tables and records and forms and lists, making everything we've talked about so far start to feel concrete. If you've ever wondered how people get experience working with ServiceNow, this is where the door opens. Congratulations, you are officially in. Thanks for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one.